Do you know what every great person has in common? 4 a.m. While the world is still asleep, they're already running, not to outrun others, but to outrun who they were yesterday. And you? Still searching for a reason? Or finally ready to move? Do you even know what 4 a.m. means? It's not the hour for chasing dreams in your sleep. It's the hour when the relentless are out there, sweating, bleeding, grinding, turning dreams into reality. While you're tangled in the snooze button, they've already crushed their first workout. They've mapped the day. They're running ahead of the world before the sun even dares to rise. Why? Because they know winning the morning is the greatest victory of all. Tired? Of course you are. You're exhausted, worn down. You want to lie back down. But sleep isn't going to save your life. It won't rescue you from the truth. You're postponing the life you once dreamed of. Hear me clearly. You're not short on time. You're short on fire. You've got the same 24 hours as Elon Musk, as Oprah, as every person who's ever flipped their fate. So why are you still standing still? While they're charging toward destiny. Because they don't wait for motivation. They create energy. They move, even when no one's watching. You keep waiting for that perfect moment. But you don't get it yet. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. No more excuses. Tired? Everyone's tired. You think successful people don't get burned out? They do. But instead of collapsing, they stand. Because they know, I don't sleep when I'm tired. I sleep when I'm done. You might say, I'm not like them. But you're wrong. You are. You've just forgotten, or never dared to become that version of yourself. Be honest now. How many times have you said you'd change? Set goals, only to let them rot? You don't need more advice. You need a slap to wake you up. Well, here it is. Get out of bed. Step out of that fake comfort you call, I'm fine. Step out of the invisible fear that keeps caging your soul. No one's coming to save you. There is no magic. There is only one question. Do you have the guts to begin now? Look in the mirror, not to fix your face, but to see the warrior still asleep inside. Wake them up. They've waited long enough. And if you're already up, if you're ready to rise, then listen closely. Freedom is not a dream. Freedom has a price. We'll talk about that next. You want to change your life? Then stop blaming life. Don't blame your parents. Don't blame the system. Don't blame bad luck. Because the truth is, you let it happen. Yeah, it hurts to hear. But truth doesn't care about comfort. It only exists to awaken you. You hate your job, you hate your life, you feel stuck in a dead end? Then do something. Stand up and rewrite your story. No one else will. No one owes you a thing. This world doesn't owe you happiness. Let me tell you this. You are the creator of outcomes, not a victim of them. The world is waiting for a better you, not a recycled version of someone who just complains. You want freedom? Pay for it with discipline. Freedom doesn't come from dreaming. It comes from the blood, the sweat, the tears you give. When no one applauds, when no one sees, when you still move forward anyway. You think, I'll start when things are easier. Number. You'll start when you stop lying to yourself. You can keep living the same old life, keep blaming, keep whining. But you know what's worse than failure? A lifetime of what if. Let me remind you of the greatest gift God gave us. The thing that separates us from beasts, from machines, from the dark. The power to choose. You can choose to fall or rise, to complain or change, to be a victim or the leader of your life. I know, you're tired. You've been broken. You're thinking, how can I be strong when life has torn me into pieces? But listen to me, it's through those cracks that the light gets in. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you're to blame. It means you no longer allow anything else to control you. You're not a child waiting for someone to hold your hand. You are an adult, rewriting the story of your life. And if you're still thinking, but I don't know where to start, the answer is simple. Start with you. Start by waking up early. Start by saying no to your old habits. Start by taking a step, any step, in the right direction. No one builds a castle in a day, but every castle begins with the first brick. Today, will you lay that brick? Or will you leave it untouched, only to look back years later and whisper, I should have. You're standing at a crossroad. One path is comfort, stagnation, complaints. The other, action, freedom, a life worth living. Choose. And remember, not choosing is still a choice. If you choose to step forward, there's one thing you must brace for: loneliness, betrayal, disappointment. But it is in those very moments that you will meet the strongest version of yourself. See you in the next chapter. Where solitude forges unbreakable spirit, there will come a day you'll open your eyes and realize no one's left. The one you trusted, gone without a word. Family, turned their back when you needed them most. Those who once believed in you, silent when you stumbled. You'll look around, an empty room, unread messages, and the pain, still sharp. You didn't just lose people, you started to lose yourself. I know that feeling. Like the world turned its back, like you were discarded, betrayed, invisible. But hear me, that very feeling is the ground where the warrior in you rises. Because strength is not born from applause. It is born in silence. When you're screaming inside, but refuse to fall, you'll learn something powerful. Loneliness won't kill you. It kills the weak version of you. It's bitter medicine, but it wakes you up to the truth. You don't need the whole world to stand. You just need one person, you, to decide not to quit. From this day forward, don't be afraid of being alone, because in the loneliest hour, you'll finally hear the voice that matters most, your own. Don't make music with those who don't understand your lyrics. Don't cling to relationships that make you feel small. Don't chase those who are blind to your light. You don't need them to live large. You just need to recognize your own worth. Stop chasing. Let your actions speak your name. Let your consistency, your kindness, your grit silence the laughter. Silence the doubt. Silence the exit doors. You don't have to shout, I will make it. You'll just make it. Silently, powerfully. I know you're hurting. I know you're tired. But don't let a few abandonments convince you you're unworthy. You're not garbage. You're not a leftover. You are a fire-obscured dash, not ashes. Now is the time to remind the world. I'm still here. I'm not done. I'm still fighting. Stand up, even if your legs shake. Keep walking, even if your heart aches. Because if you don't surrender, not even loneliness can defeat you. And if you're still standing after everything, there's one more battle you need to face. The battle of being true to yourself. We're stepping into a new chapter, where you stop living by others' expectations and start living as you. How many times have you sacrificed just to keep a fake smile on your face, to please everyone, while abandoning yourself? How many dreams have you buried just because someone said, that's not realistic? That's not for someone like you. That's not your path. Enough. It's time to stop. You weren't born to be a copy of anyone, not to fit into some outfit sewn by strangers, not to chase hollow standards, just to earn the approval of those who never saw you. You have your own path, your own voice, your own rightful dream, and no one gets to take that from you. You can spend your whole life trying to be liked, but in the end, what you truly need is self-respect. Living authentically, it's not easy. It means saying no to comfort, no to Let's just keep the peace. No to pleasing everyone, but that's the price you pay. To be who you are. Remember this: not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will accept you. And that's okay. You were not born to please the world. You were born to fulfill your purpose. And if you're afraid of being judged, ask yourself, how long will you let others hold the steering wheel of your life? The more you try to please everyone, the more you lose pieces of your soul. The more you chase their expectations, the further you drift from the voice inside your heart. Real success isn't applause. It's being able to look in the mirror every night and know you're still whole. If you're still searching, asking, how do I know what's truly mine? Listen to the moment you do something and need no recognition, but your heart lights up, your eyes burn bright. That's where you belong. Don't trade your days doing what you hate just to buy things you don't need, to impress people you don't even like. Is that really a life worthy of your one chance? I'm not asking you to rebel against everything. I'm asking this: when will you start living what you believe? Because if you keep shrinking, hiding, fearing, all that'll remain is regret, and a life that was never truly lived. Stand tall, lift your head, step into the light. Whether anyone walks beside you or not, you are worthy. You are enough. You have permission to live big. And if you're ready to walk forward, then know this: faith is fire, but you are the one who must light the spark. In the next chapter, we'll reignite that fire, the one that flickered but never died. I once believed I wasn't enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not like those successful people. I believed others. I looked in the mirror and saw a failure, until one day I had nothing left to lean on. No one believed in me. No one lifted me. No one whispered, "You can do it." All I had left was a flicker. So small, so fragile, but it was still alive. That flicker was faith. No one taught me how to rise. No one pulled me from the pit. Only one voice remained, my own, whispering, "I can't end my story here." That was the turning point. Not because I suddenly had strength, not because the world changed, but because my mindset changed. Faith doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to hold on. I started to believe I wasn't born to fade. I wasn't sent to this world just to survive. I had purpose, I had reason, and I had a flame that never died, just hidden. Do you see yourself in that? You, reading these words with a heavy heart, with questions like, who am I? Can I really do this? Is it too late for me? Listen to me. It's not too late. You're not done. And yes, you can. Faith isn't something you're born with. It's something you forge from pain, from tears, from failure, bit by bit, every time you stand back up. Every time you keep going when everything screams, quit, and slowly, you stop being the failure. You become the one on a mission. Not because you never fell, but because you refused to stay down. Let me tell you something. I am not extraordinary. I've been weak. I've been rejected. I've been so afraid I couldn't even whisper my dreams. But I did one thing. I believed in myself before anyone else did. And step by step, I rebuilt who I was, not with trophies, but with resilience. When you have nothing left to lean on your faith. That's what life taught me. Faith doesn't replace action. But without it, you'll never even begin. I don't need you to scream, "I've got this." I just need you to whisper inside, "I'll try, one more time." And then again, and again. That is how people change their lives. Not with a leap, but with small, stubborn steps, fueled by unbreakable belief. If today, all you have left is 1% of hope, hold on to it. Because sometimes just one spark is enough to reignite an entire life. And when that faith begins to burn, there's one thing you must face: failure, and how you respond to it. Because winners aren't those who never fall. They are the ones who understand. Failure is a teacher. We'll meet again in the next chapter, where you'll learn to turn failure into fuel. There's a truth few are willing to say. The successful, they fail far more than you think, far more than you're willing to accept. They didn't climb straight to the top. They fell. They struggled. They were rejected, laughed at, and sometimes they doubted themselves. But they did not quit. They never saw failure as the finish line. They saw it as part of the process, because they knew, without breaking, there is no rebirth. You think failure means you're not good enough? You're wrong. The ones who never fail are the ones who never dared to try. Only when you leave your comfort zone do you touch the edges of who you truly are. And at that edge, you will fall. You will hurt. You will break. But in that moment, you'll learn. You'll grow. You'll transform. Look at any great athlete. You think they were born strong? Number. They forged themselves through thousands of hours until their body screamed no more. And right there, at the edge of pain, their body evolved. Life works the same way. You have to hit the bottom to bounce. You have to break to rebuild. I want you to remember this. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Don't fear failure. Fear walking away from it without a lesson. Failure doesn't make you a loser. The way you respond to it does. The weak give up. The average make excuses. But the strong, they ask, what is this fall here to teach me? Maybe you've failed many times. You've poured your heart into something, only to watch it shatter. You said, this is everything, and then lost it all. Now you hesitate. You're scared another fall might break you for good. I understand. Truly I do, but I also know this. You will never know how strong you are until you stand up one more time. Don't let your scars become excuses to stop. Let them become the proof you've been through the war. Failure doesn't make you worthless. It makes you harder, sharper. Like a sword, you must be melted, hammered, forged, before you're ready to strike. And if you've ever heard, you're not cut out for this. You've tried enough. Give it up. Smile. Because they have no idea. You're just fueling the fire that's about to ignite. You are not your failure. You are the way you rise from it. And if today you fall again, don't curse life. Pick up the lesson. Carry it like a weapon. And move forward as someone being forged for greatness. Because the true champion isn't the one who never fell. It's the one who fell until there was nowhere left to fall, and then stood up. And if you've learned that failure is a teacher, then in the next chapter, we return to where it all began, your past. Not to blame it, but to transform it, to turn pain into legacy. I wasn't born with advantages. No one welcomed me into this world with flowers or applause. I came from cracked sidewalks, where crime was called destiny. I was raised in noise, in loss, in faces that had long given up. My mother died young. My father was cuffed and taken before I knew what family meant. I've gone to sleep with an empty stomach and eyes staring at the ceiling, wondering, was I born to suffer? But one day, I stepped out of that broken neighborhood, and I saw something that changed me forever. My dreams weren't beneath me, they were above me. And if I ever wanted to reach them, I had to jump, I had to climb, I had to scrape, scratch, and pull myself through every layer of doubt, through every voice that said, your dad was a criminal, your mom was an addict, you're no different, but I am not them. I carry their blood, so I can finish the story they never got to write. I don't deny where I came from. I look it in the eye and say, "Thank you for forging a warrior. I will not repeat your path. I will build a new one." They said, "Your family tree is rotten. Why even try?" And I answered, "If the roots are dead, I'll plant a new tree. I will be the beginning." You don't get to choose where you were born, but you do get to choose where you go. You are not bound by bloodline, history, or poverty. You do not have to live small just because your parents failed. You can choose differently. Today. I know you've heard the voices. You can't. You're not enough. Who do you think you are to dream that big? And I want you to remember this. It's always the ones who were underestimated, who rewrite history. Roses can still grow from concrete. If the roots are deep, if the sower refuses to give up, I don't dream of success just for myself. I dream so that kids who were once like me can look in the mirror and say, "I can too. I matter too. I am the light in the dark." This isn't just a personal journey. This is a spiritual revolution. A declaration to the world. No matter where I come from, I will return with victory in my hands. You are not your family's tragedy. You are the turning point, the one who relights the flame of a legacy long forgotten. It doesn't matter how cracked the home you grew up in was. What matters is if you are ready to build a new one today. A home with love, with values, with strength. A place where your children will never again say, "I don't know what love feels like." You are the beginning. You are the one who changes the current. You are the story others will tell when they speak of hope. And if you've realized that, your journey isn't over. Because legends don't rise just for themselves. They lift entire communities with them. In the next chapter, we'll talk about that mission, turning pain into a gift for the world. I once wanted to end it all, standing on a train track, hollow inside. I asked, what's the point of living if no one needs me? Not because I was weak, but because I had given everything and had nothing left, and just as I was ready to let go. The phone rang, a small school, a few kids, one short speech. I just wanted to give something before disappearing. But when I walked out of that classroom, I wasn't the same. The phone rang again. How much do you charge to speak to our students? That question, so simple, saved my life. From that day on, I knew I still had something to give. I still had a reason to stay. And so do you. You don't need fame to matter. You don't need money to be respected. You just need to remember. If you're still breathing, you still have the power to impact lives. There are mothers raising kids alone, struggling through every meal. There are fathers who never learned how to be one, but they try anyway, even when the world calls them useless. You think you're alone? You're not. There are millions out there, just fighting to survive. All they need is one spark, one reminder that they are not invisible. And you can be the one who gives that to them. You've known pain. You've known loss, loneliness, despair. So why not use it to heal someone else? Why not turn your scars into a compass for someone who's lost? I don't need you to be a superhero. I just need you to be kind, to be the person who walks into the dark and becomes the light, even if it flickers. You know what you love when it feels effortless to you, but looks like magic to everyone else. That's your mission. You don't have to do something big. Just do it from the heart. Do it with whatever life is still burning in you. Don't die living a life you never truly lived. Don't let your final day pass with the whisper, "If only I had spoken up. If only I had stood. If only I had believed I was enough." You are enough. You were made on purpose. You are not an accident. You are a survivor. the one still standing after the storm, the one with a broken heart that kept beating anyway. You are living proof of the miracle this world still needs. I won't promise the road will be easy, but I promise this. If you take one more step, the world will never be the same again, because it just gained one more flame bearer. And when you're ready to be a light for others, there's one thing you must remember. You're not just hope, you are royalty, the heir of light, and it's time to wear your crown again. I'll see you in the next chapter, where you rise with the presence of a king, a queen, and finally take the lead in your own life. You've bowed your head for too long, bowed to judgment, bowed to opinions, bowed out of fear. Fear of standing out, fear of disappointing someone. But look at me now, and answer honestly, do you even recognize yourself anymore? Do you remember the fire in your eyes, when you still believed you were born for something great? Do you remember the heart that once burned with purpose, that knew you deserved to walk through life with your head held high? If you've forgotten, I'm here to remind you. You are royal. You are not a beggar for love, not someone's shadow, not a statistic. You were born with a mission. Not to fit in, but to lead. This world is full of people living shallow, fast, and empty. Living for applause, living to match the crowd. You were not born for that. You were born to shake the earth. Have you been called too much? Too dreamy? Delusional? Let them talk. They speak from fear. Fear of someone brave enough to believe in more. Fear of someone brave enough to live different. To live true. You don't have to shout who you are. Just walk in. With the presence of a king returning from war. No arrogance, no bowing, no boasting. Just presence and a quiet, unshakable force radiating from within. Maybe you come from darkness. Maybe you carry scars, shame, and wounds. But listen closely. The crown doesn't rest in your past. It rests in how you rise. You are the light in the dark. You carry the blood of ancestors who survived war, hunger, injustice. You are the inheritor of light, the bearer of a new glory, and don't let society make you forget. A king doesn't need to be crowned by others. He only needs to live like one. Not to rule others, but to rule himself with discipline, with dignity, with freedom. Wear your crown, even if the world won't hand it to you. Walk as someone who knows they are worthy. Look in the mirror and declare, I was not born from lack. I was born to build a new dynasty. I don't care who you were. I care about who you decide to become from this moment on. Live like royalty. Not because you're better than anyone, but because you owe it to yourself to walk through life with your head held high. Do you know what builds an empire that lasts? Not land, not riches, but mindset, spirit, and the way its leader faces every decision, every day. And if you're truly ready to lead your life, there's one final truth you need to know. A warrior doesn't fear blood, doesn't fear failure, doesn't fear pain, because they know they were born to fight. Meet me in the final chapter, where the last flame is lit, where you become unbreakable, a warrior, a legend, a fire that can't be put out. There are days it feels like life punches you in the chest. You collapse. You can't breathe. All you have left is a shaky breath and a scattered heartbeat. But let me tell you, that is not the end. That is the birth of a warrior. You don't become a warrior in comfort. You become one when there's blood, trembling hands, bruised knees. And still, you choose to rise. Anyone can be brave when life is easy. But you'll only know who you really are when you're face down in the dirt and still choose to fight. The difference between the average and the legendary isn't muscle, smarts, or luck. It's will. The choice to keep going, even when you have nothing left except a heart that refuses to surrender. Don't let anyone call you a winner if you've never tasted failure. Because warriors are born the moment the world tries to break them, and they refuse to break. Have you been knocked down? Good. Betrayed, rejected, laughed at? Good. Because it's from those very places that you are being forged. I don't care how many times you've fallen. I only care about one thing. Do you still have the fire to get back up? Are you ready to enter round 13 dash? When your body is broken, but your soul is still screaming, I'm not done! Warriors don't seek what's easy. They seek the challenge. They live in the pressure zone, where the weak call it hell, but warriors call it home, because they know that's where greatness is forged. I don't need you to be a superhero. I need you to be human dash, but the kind of human who dares to rise again, dares to keep going when no one believes, dares to endure pain because the goal is worth it. You are a warrior. You were born for this battle. You were designed to overcome. Blood doesn't mean you're losing. It means you're still fighting. And if you're bleeding, hurting, trembling, then you're exactly where you need to be. Because real warriors don't quit when they're tired. They quit when they win. You think you're small? Number. You are FIRE. You are the storm. You are a legend yet to be written. And now, you decide. Will you let your wounds define you? Or let your will smash through every limit? The enemy is not out there. It's that voice inside your head whispering, you're not enough. You can't do this. Crush it. With action, with resilience, with victory, you are a warrior. And it's time you remember who you are. I'm not here to cheer you on. I'm here to wake you up. This is not the ending. This is the war drum calling you forward. Put your armor back on. Grip your sword. Step into the arena like someone who doesn't know how to fall. Because you are a warrior, a flame that cannot be extinguished, a living legend in ordinary skin. And if there's one message you take from this entire journey, it's this: get back up right now. Before life forgets you were ever here, if you're still listening, still breathing, then I already know you are not a quitter. Not because you've never fallen, but because every time you did, you chose to rise. You've walked through your darkest days, faced pain few ever saw. And most of all, you never gave up on you. Now you have a choice. Keep repeating the same old cycle, or choose a life worth remembering, a life that burns bright, a life that lights fires in others. Don't just live to survive. Live to ignite. Live to awaken the hearts going cold around you. Because this world needs fires like yours. You are not just a survivor. You are the torch. You light the way for yourself and for others. Every step you take is a declaration. I'm still here. I'm not done. And I will not fall. And if one day you're tired, shaken, and forget who you are, come back here. Read these words again. And remember, you are a warrior. You are royalty. You are the one who writes legends. No one was born to be average. We just forget that the exceptional has always lived in our blood. And if today, all you have left is a flicker, then let it become the fire that wakes you up. Get up, once and forever. Walk with unwavering eyes. Live with a fearless heart. Fight with an unbreakable soul. This world needs you. This path is calling you, and you deserve a life without regret. Live like today is your rebirth. And let tomorrow be the day you make the impossible real.